Well, Jason Robinson there, one of the best players in the world, I would suggest, John, at the moment. Have you got anything special in mind how you and Sonny Parker are going to pose with that threat?
I don't know at the moment. We're going to, obviously Lynn will probably pull something out of the bag this week as a way to defend him, but I think we're going to have to leave him to Sonny because he's got a bit too much gas for me.
I suppose the danger might be, though, Brett, if you sort of think just Jason Robinson, you might just, you know, you forget about the influence of Brian Redpath you mentioned.
Yeah, exactly. I think the best way to stop Jason Robinson is not for him to have the ball. He's always going to beat that first man. He's that kind of player, you know, and like I say, if he doesn't get the ball, then he doesn't possess so much of a threat. Well,
here's what he can do when he does have the ball. Let's hope it doesn't happen too often. But here's Jason Robinson, weaving a few of his spells when he did come on against Wasps. And it's just the gas off the mark, isn't it? The lightning acceleration and those dancing feet.
What he does as well, I mean, he takes the ball from all sorts of positions. I mean, he's taking it from outside half position, and bang, look, he's beat 3 or 4 players. And I mean, that's the challenge for Pontypridd, that wherever Jason Robinson is on the pitch, you know, he can do something. And this is him at his best. You know, this kick to him, it's not a bad kick, but look, he's not thinking about kicking, he's running, and he's beaten 3, 4, 5 players. He's in behind the defence, and then that is when it's difficult. He does set up an awful lot of opportunities for Sale to attack from, and I mean, that first, you have got a chance for that first tackle, but you've got to make it count.
I bet you Sale are sitting down in front of their video at the moment, John, saying, "Oh, I tell you what, you don't want that John Bryant coming at you through the middle of the field."
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, we've got, like Brett said earlier on, we've got to concentrate on what Sale do. You know, there's no point worrying about Jason, like you said. It's they've got Redpath, Hodgson, and they've got a whole host of other players that are, you know, could cause some damage if we give them space. Our defence is going to be spot on.
Yeah. Congratulations, by the way, Richard. South Africa.
Cheers.
Do you think about it yet, or are you just sort of?
No. It's not in my mind at the moment. Once we finish against Sale, then I can start thinking about that. Exciting times, though.
Do you get a feeling, Brett, that, I mean, you've got all those youngsters who've come into Ponty this year. I mean, you know, Sadoli, there's all a host of players that have come on and done really well. John, do you get a feeling there's something special happening up in Ponty?
Yeah, I think so. I think, you know, like you say, there's a lot of young players, and as long as they stay with Ponty over the next, say, 4 or 5 years, you know, the side is only going to get better. I think bring 1 or 2 more experienced players in as well. It only bodes well then for.
Until you're going to have to lose that Valley Commando underdog tag, man, if you keep playing like that. It's not going to work anymore.
Yeah, it's not going to last too much longer, is it?
Yeah. Well, but the one thing it might do you think it'll stop the sort of summer exodus? There's always been a sort of trickle of players, well, almost a flood at times, because money speaks at the end of the day. Do you think if Ponty can really hit the big time, that you will not just cling on to players, but you will suddenly have, you know,
I think
real competition?
The input buys review have got now as well within the club, and you know, they've been an integral part of keeping the younger players in Ponty as well. You know, so they've helped the players out this year especially. So, you know, and I think everyone has signed contracts, so it just bodes well. So.
I think you've got to mention your supporters as well. I think they were magnificent. They followed you everywhere, and the sort of exodus up to Oxford, which will happen again next week, has been fantastic.
Oh, absolutely superb. I've never seen anything like that in my life yesterday. Absolutely superb. All of them. Ponty supporters are great.
They're clean off. I was up in Oxford. And I went down to the sort of the balcony on the first floor, and they were just in there. They were superb, though. They just didn't. They just sort of said, it doesn't matter. We'll forgive them anything. But you know, we're here for the lads, and they just do. They are through thick and thin, amazing.
Well, yeah, we you know, at the start of the season, if you'd asked the Ponty supporter in October, November, if we were going to be in 2 cup finals, they would have laughed at you. But and it's nice to see him coming back.
Okay, right. What am I doing? Pontypridd. I nearly said Pontypool there. That was sorry. Pontypridd against Sale, the Parker Pen Shield final, live on Sunday Grandstand next Sunday. It all starts at 1:30, and it'll be some way to end the club season in Wales. And the reason I mentioned Pontypool was because, of course, they missed out on promotion to the elite. So that meant that Aberavon were champions, and they had a playoff against Caerphilly, and the first leg of that playoff took place this weekend.